Hello beautiful people, here is the part 2 of the IELTS Introduction Q&As, and in this episode the topics that I've covered are furniture, stages of life, clothes and fashion, text messaging and lists. In case you've missed out the part 1, you can check it out over here, and these are the topics that I've covered in it. For your convenience, I have typed up all the questions and answers and made them available for download, and the download link is in the description down below. For now, let's dive into the part 2. Here we go. In my home, the furniture is slightly in excess, but we have done that keeping in mind that there are a lot of friends and relatives who often visit us. So having some extra furniture helps us accommodate them when such a situation comes. Most of the furniture in our house was bought by my father when the house was constructed, and then some of it was bought about 5 years ago. It was when we had our house slightly renovated. We had constructed 2 rooms and some furniture was required for them. So it was again my father who bought all the furniture even then. I have somewhat of a traditional taste when it comes to furniture. I think I get that from my father. I like chairs and tables which are made out of high quality wood and which are nicely polished. And particularly the chairs, I like it when they have big armrests with extravagant designs or carvings. The furniture that we have in our dining area is actually my favorite. We have an elaborate dining table with 8 chairs that surround it. It is all made out of teak wood. As a matter of fact, it is quite old. We've been using it for over 2 decades, I believe, and I think it's held up pretty well. Oh yes, I think this stage of my life is a stage where I get to explore many options, make mistakes and even learn from them. Being a young adult, my actions do not seem to have serious consequences, partly because I don't have a lot of responsibilities at the moment. I particularly like this stage of my life because I seem to have both time and energy to try out new things. It definitely has to be my childhood. Being the youngest one, I was pampered the most and I used to get away with most of my mischief. If there was one word I would use to describe my childhood, it would be blessed. It was really a time of pure happiness. Not just mine, but in anyone's life, I think childhood is the most important stage. It is the time when a person is most tender and impressionable, and if correct guidance and education is given at this stage, then the personality of the person can be molded into a masterpiece. I'm looking forward to learn new things, seek quality education, and ultimately decide on a career path that would bring me happiness and make my parents proud as well. And I'm really optimistic about the next stage of my life. I would be lying if I said that I have no vanity in me. I'm quite interested when it comes to the latest trends in clothing, and I like to keep myself abreast with the latest fashion styles. I do have nice clothes, but I wouldn't say that I have a lot of them. Nice clothes are usually not very easy on the pocket, and I'm a cautious spender, but I make sure that when I buy something, I'm paying for quality so that that thing lasts me a long time. My wardrobe includes more denims and t-shirts rather than trousers and shirts, and I seem to be more inclined towards garments that are more comfortable, and I only like to wear formal clothes only if the occasion demands it. There are all kinds of clothes in my country. A lot of garment manufacturing is done in India, even for multinational companies. So I would say that there are a lot of inexpensive and expensive clothes available in my country. And there is a wide selection to choose from for all kinds of people. It is not very often that I go shopping for clothes, maybe once or twice a year. I'm very fond of shoes, so I tend to buy a lot of them, but I always seem to have enough clothes for myself. As far as I'm aware, designer clothes are usually worn by celebrities who need to make a style statement. Thankfully, I don't think I would find myself in a situation where I would have to splurge on something like that. Oh yes, I love to text. I think it's a very quick and convenient service that can be availed by anyone who has a mobile device. On top of that, I think it comes very handy when it is difficult to make a phone call. I think text messaging is a two-way street. I really like it when I get messages from my dear ones, and I like to reply as soon as I can. I also like it when I get quick replies to the messages that I send out. I cannot really think of such a message right now. I think maybe if someone makes a typing error, that might confuse me a bit. But other than that, I don't think I've received a confusing text message as far as I can remember. I think if someone is not replying to an urgent message, it would be better to call them up. Or maybe if some critical piece of information or some important news has to be shared, it would be better to communicate telephonically. If I have to buy groceries, I definitely need to make a list because of the large number of items. However, if I'm shopping casually, say for clothes or shoes, making a list would be redundant. Yes, when it comes to work or study, I find that writing things down and laying out the tasks in written form helps me organize my thoughts better and helps me plan out things better. It also helps me schedule my tasks more efficiently. Maybe they have a very sharp memory, or maybe they just like to be spontaneous. I think for such people, making a list before doing something can prove to be a waste of time and effort. Ever since I've bought a smartphone, I find that it is much easier to make lists on it because I won't lose my data and it is always with me. But before I had a smartphone, I used to make lists on a register that I had maintained, but I always used to keep on misplacing it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Again, in case you've missed the part 1, you can check it out over here, and I will be publishing the final part 3 very soon. Until then, stay inspired and don't forget to tell yourself how wonderful you are.